Okay. Can I just go the longer way around? Seriously?
Yeah.
And anybody else want to come on up?
We have an extra microphone.
Okay, I'll use two. It's all good. Yes.
You're the guest of honor, so.
What's going on? All right. All right. Who's having a nice time? Great. I'm glad to be back in Hamilton. And thank God there are some people who have a better memory than me because we figured out it was 2016. 16. 15. Okay. All right. Well, see, this is what I get for bragging. And then I was in Niagara 18 or 19, something. Anyway, it's been a few years. It's nice to be back. What's going on, you guys?
How are you today?
I'm fine.
Thank you for your.
You can tell I'm shy.
Oh, absolutely. That's okay. We got your back. It's good.
Have you ever worked on any projects in Canada, actually?
No, I'm waiting. Actually, I just met a guy at the table who does a show called something Pink. No? Anyone? It's a little half-hour comedy, so who knows? Maybe he'll give me a job. No, I haven't. I would love to. At the time when I was working in Hollywoodland, Vancouver became a big production center, and it actually kind of started the get out of Hollywood, other than movies filming on location, right?
Right.
But it started other than a remote location center for filming. And then Atlanta, then Louisiana and Atlanta's blown up, and it's like one of the biggest in the world now. But no, I haven't. Anyone?
I'll get working on a script.
Okay, good. Okay.
I was wrong, Amanda. Yeah, it was 2016.
Okay, you know, I should have bet. I should have bet. It doesn't matter, it all goes.
Facebook memories.
Absolutely. All right. Anybody got any questions, inappropriate questions? Anyone? Anyone? Yes.
Hey,
Okay, darling. Why don't you come up? Honey, why don't you come up? We'll do that.
Yeah.
She's not a director or anything, is she?
So, have you all known that I'm an artist? A really good artist.
I did not know that.
Check this out.
Hang on, go slow. Get it on, very nice.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
that's not the only one I got.
Okay, who's that?
That's Sunset Shimmer and Twilight Sparkle from My Little Pony.
My daughter would know that better than me, I'm sorry. But again, congratulations.
Thank you.
You've got some talent going on there.
Thank you. And did you know I started my own projects of Thomas and Friends and My Little Pony?
No, but I'm learning.
This is the one right here. That's Thomas the Tank.
I like all the colors.
Me too.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
And right now I'm working on a sequel.
Okay. Yeah. People are waiting for a sequel of Married with Children, but they're going to be waiting a long time.
Thanks for showing your
A
heart.
long time.
Yeah,
But interestingly enough, they're talking about an animated version of it.
Really?
I haven't gotten a call.
Look me up on Facebook.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, good for you.
Thank you, man. We were just telling you upstairs that somehow I waited 40 years to watch Fright Night, and I ended up loving it. It's very fun. Did you have a fun time doing that?
It was amazing. We will celebrate our 40th anniversary next year. And I have nothing to do with that other than that I'm still breathing. No, but miraculously, with the exception of Roddy McDowell, who passed rather young some years back, we're all still kicking and often gathering together at conventions. That's how I started in the convention world, because the horror cons, they're intense. They're rabbit fans, you know?
They really are.
And so it was 20 years ago, and I hadn't seen most of those guys in the film in 20 years.
Wow.
So, and we were talking about when you start with a good script, because no matter how many bells and whistles you put on a project, if it's not on the written page, it isn't going to be good. It really does start with the script, and Tom Holland wrote such a good story.
Yes.
And he didn't make fun of the genre. He didn't make fun of the vampire genre. He embraced it because he grew up on the old school. And I think he made a lovely film that had characters that had a lot of dimensionality. It wasn't just, you know, and here we are still talking about it. It's kind of magical, really.
One of my favorite things about the movie was, like you said, like Tom Holland was so into the old school monsters and the horror genre from back then, and he paid homage to that old school.
Oh yeah, no, it was made with love.
Yeah, and you can tell it was.
And we're all going to be gathered together. Not that I'm so glad we're here, and that this convention just keeps growing and growing. And the Niagara, and then I'm trying to get us to the horror one, right? There's a Halloween.
Nightmare in the Fall.
Yeah, because in October, the whole cast of Fright Night, as well as Tom, we're going to do 2 cons, one in Kentucky and one in Florida.
Oh, nice.
So it's nice, and it's nice for you all to not just have a solo act, but to get more bang for your buck. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But we had a great time at the time we made the movie, and what was even more incredible is that 20 years later, it was like, I liked you. I remember that now, because you come together and do projects, and then you may never see each other again, right? And so we just picked up where we left off, and we continue to do that. So
That's awesome.
yeah, very lucky.
Does anybody have? Oh,
I've got a few actually.
Okay.
So 2 things. Who was your favorite husband, Steve or Jefferson? And what was your favorite Al insult?
You mean him giving to me or me giving to him?
Either or.
One of my favorite episodes with the Al Marcy thing was when they kidnapped Jerry Springer and they had him in... and it was a whole audience of no-ma'ams, right? And I come chickening on, running on, right? And we're having the exchange and of course Marcy said, blah, blah, blah. I don't know where they got that from. And all Al can do is go, well, you're a chicken. I mean, he can't think of anything else. I'm not even sure if there's one in particular. It's so great though when you have characters who are so polar opposite. And the conflict is really where a lot of the funny comes from. So, needless to say, I enjoyed myself immensely. What was the first question?
Favorite husband, Jefferson or
Oh, yes. Let me qualify this with, they're both lovely guys, but David Garrison and I kind of come from the old school theater world, and so I learned a lot from him, and so if I had to pick a favorite, it would be him. He and I are still very good friends to this day, although, for those of you who are in Niagara and met me some years back, that's the first time I'd seen Ted McGinley in like 20 years.
oh wow.
So it's fun. Not only you guys have fun seeing people write at these conventions that you've met over the years and reconnecting, so do we. So thanks. Thanks for having conventions and inviting us.
Well, this gentleman had a question for us.
Hi. Big fan since '88.
Were you even born?
Yes.
Okay. I met y'all at the photo op. Okay.
I actually learned English from watching their.
You know what? That's so cool. I've heard that before, and I'm sure there were words that you probably shouldn't have learned.
I must admit, I was disappointed when the first time I came to the U.S. People were not like that. So that was a bit.
Oh, there's some.
I know.
There's some that are like that. Yeah.
So my question is, who would you want as neighbors, the Darcys or the Bundys?
Didn't hear it.
Who would you want as neighbors, the Darcys or the Bundys?
Well, the Darcys. I liked Marcy. We were friends. We got along great. I never had a problem with Marcy.
Good lady. You all clicked.
What?
You all clicked.
Yeah, but then I would love it if Steve could come on board every once in a while and show up. Yeah, those were really fun times when David Garrison would come and guest star. You know, husband number 1 and husband number 2. Yeah. Thanks for watching.
And I approached the Ben show everybody?
Yeah.
Yes.
Please do.
Hey, stranger.
How are you?
I'm glad to see you.
Since it was 2016, do you remember his photo here?
I remember you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's so sad. I have a sad face on.
Because you're holding the No
I'm
Ma'am
holding
shirt.
the No Ma'am shirt, yes.
You had the No Ma'am.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Now, who knows what it stands for?
I used to, and I keep forgetting.
National Organization
Men against something.
Amazonian
Women's
Woman.
women.
And against Amazonian women.
Amazonian women.
Okay, thank you.
You ever thought of having a reunion Married with Children?
No, the closest they're going to get is this animated thing if it comes to be. Yeah,
But if you see them, like when you animate, you're usually just in the studio. Or,
that would be fine.
yeah, as long as you get to see them all again, your old castmates.
Some.
And you definitely want to see Ed together.
Well, 10 years is a long time to hang out with each other. It's all good. No, I mean, and honestly, I had a little bit of a different position because they gave me my second career as a director. And I think it was 1991, I directed my first episode, and there were this many women behind the camera. So I felt very fortunate. I mean, I always knew that my character was going to be sort of fifth banana. That's fine. I loved coming in, getting humiliated, and then leaving. But I was going to go down with the ship. So when they offered me to write or direct, I jumped on that. And lo and behold, when Married ended, and I had done numerous episodes by that time, I really closed the door on my acting career so that I would be taken seriously as a director. And that's what had to happen, well, at least for me. Because Hollywood's like, well, you do that, you can't do that too, even though I'd been doing it for years. And I really wanted to go with the momentum of being behind the camera. Until a couple of years ago, and then I thought, maybe I'll try that acting thing again. And I did a couple of movies. One came out in 2021 called Bros, B-R-O-S. And then it was a Universal picture. And then John Heder, who was Napoleon Dynamite. He and I did a film together. They're trying to get distribution. It's played the film festival circuit, right? But I don't think it's gotten any major distribution. It's called Topawingo. But again, if you go away for 25 years, you come back, you're the mom. So John's living at home, much like Napoleon Dynamite character, with his mom. But we had fun. It was fun, and it was great to be back in front of the camera and go, wow, this is easier than running the show and driving the train. But yeah.
Yeah, that was going to be my next segue, was when directing, how did the other characters feel like now you're kind of the boss, you're telling Al to do this, Peg to do this.
Right.
So how is that dynamic going from the actor being in the show to now behind the camera
Right.
telling them what to do?
Well, they were very receptive and supportive of me. Truly, everybody on the set, not only the cast, but more importantly, even the crew, because you can't do it. You see, there are 100 people behind the cameras. You know this now because everybody's inside the way filmmaking works and television works. That it's not just us, right? And so because I grew up doing theater, I always had a lot of respect for everybody else, the crew and everybody, because it's just more of a community, right? And it's not a separation of the actors but you're not wrong in that I did have a different job to do. So I am sweating like a whore in church. Anybody else? My God!
It is warm.
Okay, they don't talk like that in Canada. Anyway,
Well, we do, but then
I'm
when
from
we
the
need
deep
to say-
south, and we have a way of saying things.
Amanda,
Yeah.
we do say stuff like that, but because we're Canadian, we have to apologize and say sorry right after.
Oh, sorry. No, but because it can change the dynamics a little bit. And, but you hang out with people for a long, long time. It's time to move on. Was that diplomatic?
Yeah, extremely.
Anyone else have a question that I won't answer? No. Go ahead.
Given how amazing that you were with Ed O'Neill on Married with Children, did you ever have any creative input into some of the jokes that were going in?
To tell you the truth, again, and I'll go back to the written page thing, that the show was on the page. And so there really wasn't it's not like a Curb Your Enthusiasm where you have a kind of an outline of the script and you have a lot of improvisational actors, right? Married with Children was scripted, pretty much everything. As with any sitcom, or actually any work, it evolves throughout the time that you're in production. And on a sitcom, it's a week. So you start with a new script on a Monday, and by Friday night, you're taping it in front of an audience, at least old school, right? And so it evolves, things change, and even in front of the audience, if a joke doesn't land, the writers are all there to pitch another alternative to it. But only if we were stumbling over the words that we would say, okay, it's gonna come out a little easier if I change this up a little bit. Out of respect for the writers, it's really important for an actor to try and make what's already there work. That's our job. But if you can't and you're bumping up against it, that show in particular was very receptive, you know. But again, you want to respect the work that they've presented, because they put a lot of effort into the script before it even lands in front of you. So that's a good question, though.
Actually,
Oh my! Look at what are they? Hi. That's so cute.
Oh no!
That's fantastic.
That's brilliant.
Scariest
That's
children,
very
but
fun.
Fantastic.
As a follow-up to the question, when the show was starting, did you have any input at all as to how the Marcy character would act?
No. Your input is the choices that you make as an actor that you bring in front of the writers, producers, creators, studio, network. And again, you're trying to lift the material up one more level. And then when you visualize it for the camera, that's one more level. But it's, you want to bring life to the page. And so I've always been, shockingly, someone who has strong choices. And, you know, it's either going to work or it's not, but you just commit to it. And so it was born out of that. And then at the very end, when they're getting the final casting, and this is with any project, you mix the group. You mix who you're going to be with. So I matched David Garrison, who played Steve, Marcy's first husband. The part was written for him because he had done another show with the writer-producers. And so Steve was already cast. And by the end, when there's just like maybe 4 women left for the role, each one of us did the audition with him. And he and I made a good match. And it's energy. You know, look, I'll get very woo-woo on y'all. All we are is energy. And creative energy is just kicked up a little bit. And it's what you respond to or you don't. And so that's kind of the process.
That's awesome. Any other questions?
All right, fine.
I have one actually, Amanda. Out of all the times you've directed and everything, is there a particular genre that you haven't directed yet that you would like to?
Well, interesting. I have been a part. I've been a part of directing the process of films in development, and it takes a while. And I've been attached, as they say, to direct a certain project. And with that, you go into the writing or rewriting with the project. And sometimes it happens, and for me, it has not yet. But there's one that is still in development. I stepped away from the writing to let the writer move forward with my notes, and it's actually a horror movie. But it's a very unusual and clever premise, so we'll see. It may happen, it may not. Like I said, I started in the theater, so there was something really wonderful that I got to experience a few years ago, and that was to go back into the theater in New York and direct there. And I just kept pinching myself because I was a student there, you know, a lot of years ago. So yeah, I've had a lucky time, and I feel very fortunate to be here with all of you. So thank you, and thanks for sitting right there.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Lovely to meet you.
All right, turn the air conditioning.